6. The mind in chaos, fog, doubt, and inner wars. We often think of the body and mind as separate, but in truth, they are twin flames, mirrors of one another. When you're in the wrong relationship, it's not just your body that reacts. Your mind becomes a battlefield. You can't think straight. You second-guess your decisions. You forget what joy feels like. You spiral into doubt, confusion, and self-judgment. This isn't just overthinking. This is a spiritual fog caused by emotional misalignment. A toxic relationship distorts your clarity. It fractures your intuition. It makes you question your reality and sometimes even your sanity. This is one of the most dangerous signs because it creeps in silently. You lose yourself piece by piece. I remember walking away from a partnership that left me mentally drained. In the first few weeks of distance, something strange happened. I could think again. I could focus. I could feel. It was like I had emerged from a psychic coma. If someone brings more confusion and clarity, more storms and serenity, it's not love. It's spiritual erosion. Your mind deserves stillness. Honor that, protect that, and walk away from whatever dims your inner light. Have you ever sat beside someone and felt an invisible storm stirring within you, your chest tightening, a subtle nausea rising, a heaviness crawling through your shoulders, and yet your mind insists everything is fine? It's like your soul whispers no, while your logic screams yes. But what if those whispers weren't just anxiety? What if they were messages from something greater, your higher self, your intuition, or even the universe itself trying to protect you? Too often, we dismiss what our bodies are desperately trying to tell us. We rationalize discomfort, silence red flags, and cling to connections that are misaligned with our path simply because we don't want to accept the truth. But the universe is patient. It won't shout. It will simply keep showing you, over and over again in your own body, that something isn't right. This video is not about judging your relationships. It's about tuning into your most sacred compass, your body and soul. If the universe doesn't want you to be with someone, it won't always break things apart with dramatic events. Sometimes it will speak softly, through tension, exhaustion, confusion. If only we dare to listen. Let's walk through 8 powerful signs, subtle, yet soul-shaking, by which the universe warns you that someone might not belong in your life. And let me share not just what they are, but what they mean, why they matter, and how I've come to recognize them in my own life too. 1. The knot in your stomach, your soul's first alarm. The stomach is often called a second brain, not just by poets, but by science too, and for good reason. It's there, in the pit of your core, that many of us first feel when something is off. Have you ever noticed it? That dull ache, that twist of anxiety, that inexplicable tightness, like your gut is trying to pull you away from someone? This isn't just a nervous stomach. It's not indigestion. It's your body signaling disharmony. Our nervous system stores emotional truths we haven't dared to speak. It reacts when we're in the presence of someone whose energy isn't aligned with ours. I felt this myself. Once, I was with someone who seemed perfect on paper, kind, thoughtful, admired by friends. But every time I sat beside him, something inside me recoiled. I tried to suppress it, tell myself I was just overthinking, but the knot remained, and it got tighter. It was only when I walked away that the knot began to unravel. Looking back, I realize now your body doesn't lie. When you're around the right person, you feel peace, not pressure. Your gut isn't sabotaging you, it's protecting you. Listen to that knot. It might be your soul screaming through your silence. 2. Constant physical tension, living on edge, shoulders clenched, jaw locked, neck stiff, hands balled into fists. Sound familiar? This kind of bodily tension isn't random. It's a residue of invisible emotional wars fought in your nervous system, triggered by the people around you. When we're in a relationship that constantly requires us to perform, to please, or to protect ourselves, our bodies tense up preparing to fight or flee. It's survival, but it's also unsustainable. Ask yourself honestly, do you feel safe with them? Truly safe? If your muscles are tight every time they speak, if you flinch at their tone, if your back aches after spending a few hours with them, that's not stress. That's your body sounding the alarm. I remember staying in a friendship where I constantly felt judged. It wasn't overt, but subtle remarks that undermine me. Silence when I shared joy, side eyes at my success. Over time, I noticed how tense I became before meeting them, like bracing for impact. Eventually, I realized, when someone makes your body feel like a battleground, it's because your spirit doesn't feel at peace in their presence. Let go of the tension. Let go of the person. Your body is asking for relief. 3. Emotional fatigue, drained after every encounter. Not all tiredness is physical. Some of the most exhausting experiences in life come not from work or lack of sleep, but from spending time with the wrong people. There are relationships that energize you, and then there are those that consume you. The latter are harder to spot. The person may not yell or belittle you. They may smile. They may even love you. But every interaction leaves you emptier than before. You walk away feeling like a shell. These are emotional vampires, not in a mythical sense, but in a deeply human one. They demand your energy, your attention, your validation, your emotional labor, but rarely give back. And the cost? You. Pay attention to your energy levels after spending time with someone. Do you feel renewed or depleted? Lighter or heavier? I once had a mentor who, while talented, always made me feel small. Every meeting left me second-guessing myself, questioning my worth. I thought I was just insecure. But no, he was draining me to feed his ego. Healthy relationships are reciprocal. They don't just take, they give. If someone leaves you emotionally bankrupt every time, the universe is warning you. This connection is toxic. Withdraw your energy. Save yourself. For a racing heart, but not because of love. Love can make your heart flutter, but so can fear. One of the most misunderstood signs of misalignment is the rapid beating of the heart when we're with someone. We often confuse this with passion or excitement, but not all heart racing is romantic. Sometimes it's a symptom of distress. You might find your pulse quickening when they enter the room. You hold your breath when they speak. You smile, but your heartbeat betrays the truth. It's not joy. It's alertness, anticipation, dread. Your body isn't confused. Your mind is. I used to be in a relationship where I mistook emotional instability for intensity, but what I called love was often anxiety. My heart pounded every time we argued, and we argued a lot. I convinced myself this was a fiery connection. In truth, it was a trauma bond. The body recognizes what the soul tries to forget, and the heart, our most sacred instrument, doesn't beat erratically for no reason. Don't confuse chaos with chemistry. A heart that races out of fear is begging you to find peace somewhere else. 5. Breathing becomes shallow, a suffocating presence. There's a kind of breathlessness that comes from awe, and there's another that comes from anxiety. The difference is subtle but profound. When you're with someone who's aligned with your spirit, you breathe fully, freely. Your chest rises and falls with ease. There's space. There's flow. But when you're with someone who unsettles you, even unconsciously, your breath betrays you. It shortens. It tightens. You sigh more. You find yourself holding your breath, clenching your diaphragm, as though trying to disappear. This is not imagination. This is your body recoiling from pressure. I once had a colleague who was charismatic, but deeply manipulative. In every conversation, I felt I had to watch my words, monitor my tone, tread carefully. And I noticed when I was around them, I didn't breathe. The moment they left, I'd exhale sharply as if I'd been underwater. Your breath is your life force. If someone consistently robs you of it, they are not your soulmate. They're your suffocation. Don't hold your breath in someone else's presence. You deserve to inhale life, not tension. Sometimes the universe doesn't close the door softly. Sometimes it slams it so loud your soul can't ignore the echo. We all want signs. But what happens when the signs are already there, not whispered, but shouted through our exhaustion, our tears, our unraveling sense of peace? In this part, we'll explore the final 2 signs the universe uses when it's trying to save you from someone not meant to walk your path. These aren't gentle nudges. These are spiritual sirens. 7. You feel emotionally and physically drained after being with them. Let's get honest. Relationships are meant to uplift, not exhaust. But when the person you're with leaves you feeling like a shell of yourself after every conversation, every meetup, every phone call, something's wrong. Your energy doesn't lie. You may try to justify it. They had a bad day. That's why they acted like that. Maybe I'm just too sensitive. I need to be more understanding. But deep down, your soul is waving a red flag. You walk away from time with them feeling emotionally depleted. Not just once, not just after fights, but consistently. It's as if they reach into your chest and pull out every ounce of joy, leaving you numb, tired, and questioning yourself. Love shouldn't feel like a full-time job with no weekends. And here's the thing, this kind of drain isn't just emotional, it becomes physical. You feel tired, sluggish, foggy. Your body aches. Your sleep suffers. Your appetite changes. You start showing symptoms of stress and burnout, and you still tell yourself you're just going through a phase. I remember a relationship where I would literally get headaches after being with them. I dismissed it. I thought I was just overwhelmed from work. But no, my body was screaming louder than my mind could rationalize. The truth? Energy is contagious. And if the person you're is filled with insecurity, chaos, manipulation, or emotional volatility, they will bleed it into you, no matter how strong you are. If you're constantly trying to heal from being around someone, they are not your home. 8. You start noticing signs, coincidences, or spiritual redirections. Now we reach the most mystical, yet perhaps the most undeniable sign of all, the moment the universe gets involved. When you're deeply out of alignment, the universe will begin to rearrange your reality. You'll see signs. Angel numbers like 111, 222, or 444, repeating endlessly. Random messages or lyrics that mirror your inner conflict. Strangers saying things that pierce your soul. Dreams that shake you awake in the middle of the night. Songs, symbols, or moments that hit too close to what you're feeling. Maybe your phone glitches when you try to call them. Maybe plans keep falling through. Maybe you start hearing the same advice from 3 different people who've never met. Coincidence? No. The universe speaks once in whispers, then in symbols, then in storms. And if you ignore it too long, those signs become painful lessons. You lose jobs. You get sick. You lose friends. Your mental health crumbles. Why? Because you're not living your truth. You're fighting your own alignment. Let me tell you something hard but liberating. The universe doesn't sabotage you, it saves you. Every obstacle that blocks your path to that person might be divine mercy in disguise. Because maybe, just maybe, the universe sees what you don't. It sees the lies behind their charm. It sees the future heartache you're blind to. It sees the version of you that's thriving without them. When everything starts falling apart, maybe it's actually falling into place. I didn't just miss the signs, I ran past them. I once ignored every single one of these signs. I stayed with someone who drained my soul and silenced my spirit. I begged for crumbs of connection. I called it love. But really, it was self-abandonment. I saw the signs, dreams, fatigue, tension, emotional chaos, but I was so afraid of being alone. I confused pain with purpose. It wasn't until I broke down mentally, emotionally, spiritually that I realized the universe had been trying to rescue me, not ruin me. And when I finally walked away, I didn't just find peace. I found myself. Love shouldn't hurt like this. If you've been feeling these things, emotional exhaustion, spiritual confusion, signs you can't explain, then this is your wake-up call. When the universe whispers, listen. When it screams, run. You were not born to suffer for someone else's comfort. You were not made to dim your light for someone who fears your fire. You deserve a love that feels like exhale, not like suffocation. If this message reached something deep inside you, then it's not just words, it's confirmation. Leave a comment. What sign resonated with you most? When did you first feel the universe try and tell you the truth? Share this video with someone who might be caught in a soul-depleting connection. Be the sign they need today. And if you want more truth like this, spiritual, raw, soul-shaking, subscribe and join our community. We're not here for surface-level healing. We're here to evolve. Because when you finally choose yourself, the universe celebrates. And love, true love, will never ask you to abandon your own soul. Maybe the universe isn't against your love story. Maybe it's just saving you for a better one.